Greetings, Earthlings, greetings, sports fans, and greetings, all points in between. It's Monday, it's 8 o'clock. And if it's Monday at 8 o'clock, then it's Mighty Monkeys, Nerd World News. And I'm your host. My name is Waldo. With me is my favorite globetrotting partner, Carmen Sandiego. Is Carmen Sandiego. Yep. Good evening, Elizabeth. Good evening, Batman, John, and hello, Peter. It's good to see all of you. And look at that. Laura is on board, and James Bourne is on board. Fellas, ladies, and all points in between, let's jump right into it. We've got ourselves a story to talk about here. I just got to make some adjustments. I got to click on this button, and then I'm going to click on that button. Look at that lovely lady right there. Why are we talking about Rosario Dawson? Well, guess what? For those of you who've been following all the audio adventures and audiobooks that have been surrounding Batman, Rosario Dawson is the new Catwoman. For any podcast and comic book fans, you should be happy as Batman podcast, Batman the Audio Adventures, has some major updates in the pipe. As of this week, we now know some more details about the casting, like Rosario Dawson from The Mandalorian, playing Ahsoka Tano, Clerks 2, Sin City. I'd be here for a while talking about the list of how awesome Rosario Dawson is. As Catwoman, and how Warner Brothers plans on releasing the new show. HBO Max will be the home of the podcast. It matches the effort to expand its selection of podcasts in the streaming services. So if you want to hear A-listers as iconic DC characters, like Rosario as Catwoman, this will be the only place you can find it. Previously, we knew that Jeffrey Wright, formerly of Westworld, would voice the Dark Knight. Now, with an update from yesterday, we know that she will be Catwoman, and John Leguizamo as the Riddler. Ooh. Brace yourselves for that one, kids. The series will also include Jason Sudeikis, currently from Ted Lasso, and Seth Meyers of Late Night with Seth Meyers fame, along with Saturday Night Live stars Bobby Moynihan, Kenan Thompson, Heidi Gardner, and Fred Armisen. It will be directed and written by Dennis McNichols, also from Saturday Night Live. The star-studded podcast with Jeffrey Wright and Rosario Dawson is the first and only podcast from HBO that is exclusive to HBO Max. Other podcasts are available on other platforms that are coming home for podcasts. For some of the stars, it's not their first time playing as DC characters. Jeffrey Wright will star in next year's The Batman as James Gordon. The movie is directed by Matt Reeves and also stars Robert Pattinson as Batman himself. Paul Dano as the Riddler, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, and Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth. He's not doing motion capture character for a change. So, I mean, you know who Andy Serkis is, right?
Was he Rocket? No.
That's Gollum. Andy Serkis is Gollum. Okay. Bradley Cooper was Rocket.
Black Panther. So what was the Black Panther?
The Claw. He was that Ulysses Claw fellow, the guy who had his arm taken off by Ultron in Age of Ultron movie. Oh. Right. The arms dealer. Okay. Why, that was an anticlimactic conversation up there, wasn't it?
I have to go back and rewatch Black Panther, so I know.
Sounds good.
Okay.
We'll do that. We'll MCU marathon at my house tonight. All right, moving on. Let's see. Where do we got here? Oh, John Turturro as Carmine Falcone. And then there's Rosario Dawson, who we've been talking about at length here, who has given her voice to plenty of animated movies in worlds filled with superheroes, like the Lego Batman movie as Batgirl, and she also played Wonder Woman in Space Jam: A New Legacy. Now, Batman the Audio Adventures should not get mixed up with the other Batman podcast for Spotify, Batman Unburied. While the HBO Max one will feature stars like Rosario Dawson, who we've been talking about repeatedly through this article, Unburied features Winston Duke as Bruce Wayne and Jason Isaacs. It will explore the dark depths of Bruce Wayne's psyche and will be filled with some of the biggest supervillains that have faced against the Cape Crusader. It will be written by Eric Carrasco, Saladin Ahmed, Rebecca Kingle, and Graham Westerson. Keep an eye out for Batman the Audio Adventures. The podcast has no hard release date yet, but it will hit HBO Max this fall, where you can hear Jeffrey Wright, Rosario, Seth Meyers, and Saturday Night Live alums voice iconic characters from the DC Comics. It will be inspired by the 1960s series and the 1990s animated series. So as we find out more about that, we will obviously always be sharing that with you. So we're going to jump back to the comments section real quick. Hello to Doctor Who at 55 years and beyond. Good to see you guys. Elizabeth Rice goes on to say something along the lines of, speaking of audio dramas, super excited that Big Finish has Sir Derek Jacobi's Master and 10th Doctor meeting again this year. Very cool. I have way too many Big Finish audios to buy. That's your addiction, dear. I don't think there's a support group for that. Sarah Beers. By the way, just to let everybody know, I had time of my life at the FC3 Minicon. Thanks for making it happen, Captain. We will let Brian know of your gratitude because he was definitely the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain on that one. John, I'm with you. Can't even keep up the audio.
Me too.
But Dalek Universe, 9th Doctor, Doctor's Daughter, Volume 2, Martha Jones, Year That Never Was, Missy, Volume 3, and more. Big Finish, just get part of my paycheck each week. Yes, direct deposit right to Big Finish. Big Finish comes out so fast. It's always a good listen. The classic years are awesome as always. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So now I'm going to click on that.
Yay!
And there's a pair of cute little faces in animated form. I'm going to slide the camera over. All right, do I need to get you a script here? You ready? Boom. All right.
Yeah,
it's time for Comic Chicks.
The first one for the week is Spider-Man, Spider Shadow number 5. What if Peter Parker became Venom? Really?
Yes.
Really? Huh.
Yes.
By choosing to keep the symbiote, Spider-Man let himself become a monster. Now, with the help of Mary Jane and the Fantastic Four, he's managed to reclaim control. But if the symbiote can't have Peter, then it will just have to take the rest of the Marvel Universe. The shocking finale of this bold new approach to the What If series.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Next one, Captain Marvel.
Hang on. Oh, that went wrong.
I lost my...
Relax, woman. All right, there you go. Oh, did it again, didn't I? Ta-da. Okay.
Captain Marvel number 31, Vacation, All I Never Wanted. Carol and Rhodey have rekindled their relationship and their vacation plans. I'm making vacation plans. Just in time to get a distress call from Carol's half-sister, L'Oreal, the Kree accuser, that sends the couple on a detour into space where they find themselves in need of far more than swimsuits. There's a gathering darkness in the galaxy, and it has Captain Marvel's name all over it. Don't miss the kickoff to another exhilarating fight fest for the multiverse's baddest boss of space.
Yeah, I can't say the other word these days. I had to edit that out of the write-up. Baddest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. A Man Among Ye, number 6. That is a really cool looking cover.
I thought you'd like that. That was your stipulation.
Yeah, that was my stipulation. It was cool covers.
So I found you a cool cover to play with.
After being pursued by the Crown and every bounty hunter in the Caribbean, Anne Bonny and her pirate crew find themselves behind bars once again. They didn't find Jack Sparrow.
Well, you know what? It's like a D&D party. You wind up in a dungeon cell quite often.
Yeah.
If you're doing it right.
But a mysterious savior appears, offering the women a chance at freedom and buried treasure. Can Anne trust this newcomer with their lives? Find out this week with the newest entry from Image Comics' Stephanie Phillips. And I think the last pick was for Chris.
Look at the butt on her! Holy cow!
I don't think you were looking at the butt. You were looking at the boobs.
Everything.
Okay.
I mean, it's an awesome character to begin with. And she's badass.
Yeah. Red Sonja, commemorative edition number 1. The brilliant debut of Frank Thorne on Red Sonja began with the Marvel feature number 2 way back when in 1975. It was in the 70s that an impressionable, young, aspiring Adams first discovered the character and fell in love with the incredible art and action that the team of Roy Thomas and Frank Thorne would breathe into the comics. It's this first beautiful impression of the character with a script by the legendary Bruce Jones that we celebrate in this new special edition brought to you by Dynamite Comics.
Dun, dun, dun,
dun, dun, dun.
What else you got for me?
Still last call for volunteers. We are wrapping that up probably in the next 2 weeks or so. Panels.
I'm sorry, I just told a bunch of people in London to piss off. I didn't actually mean that.
Oh. No D&D group this week. The girls have dance on Wednesday night. Next week is Comic Chicks. Though that following weekend, Ann and I will be up at AnchorCon trying to avoid the shenanigators, which is probably not going to happen.
Nah, that's not going to happen. Especially since they're together. You know, Greg and
like our table's here, and then There's another pod of 4 tables, and then they're
Do you
over
honestly
against the
think
wall.
that's going to stop Michael Koski and Greg Finch?
No.
French.
Finch.
Let's
So,
call the whole thing off.
So no. So thank you to everyone that came out for MiniCon. It was awesome. It was an awesome week, and I got a big Grogu.
Got a big old Grogu.
Yes, that's about it.
All right. So now it's that time of day where we talk about our patreon.com. If you like what we're doing, please tell people, please share our signal with folks. Please let them know that we are here doing this pretty much every Monday in perpetuity until I retire, which will probably be somewhere in the area of another 20, 30 years from now. You never know. And while we're at Patreon, there's a variety of sponsorship levels that you can choose from, but also there is a weekly blog that is brought to you by none other than this handsome gentleman off to my left. You're right. I'm not sure where. You're looking good, dude. You're looking good. James Irish, tell us a little bit more about what's coming up these days.
I think you forgot I mentioned that I'm putting the blog on hiatus. Oh, well.
That's right. My bad. I'll let you just take it from here, and I'll just shut up now.
Okay. But seriously, between preparation for the convention and the fact that the news cycle in the video game world is mostly focused on the unfortunate events with Blizzard right now, there's really very little to talk about. So I'm going to be taking a break from the blog until October. So I will be back revamped and ready for something better to entertain you folks with. But in the meantime, in podcast land, Gaming Street Irregulars is carrying on, and the reason you see that little that sound effect logo is because we are talking about the vocabulary of video game audio this week. It's not just random bloops and bleeps, folks. It's sounds in video game have purpose to both inform the player of what's happening and to reinforce the gameplay mechanics. We will break that down in terms of games like Galaga, Mr. Do, Super Mario Brothers, and even Battletoads. Yes, you can probably already guess where I'm going with that one. But that will be up Thursday morning. I'm working very hard on this one. This is one of the most sound-intensive things I've done to date, and I hope you enjoy it. Chris, back to you.
That's awesome. Great job, man. Thank you very much for that. And I'm sorry about that, because I know you told me about this, and I think you've talked about putting the podcast on the shelf for a little bit before, and I'm all over the place because I'm an idiot. But good stuff as always, and I'm looking forward to what? It's
not like we're not planning 20 gazillion things over the next couple weeks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
what are we doing something in September?
Well, we're celebrating your 51st birthday.
Oh, you had to bring that up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's painful.
My dad turned 70 this year.
That's painful, right?
He was talking about me turning 50 next year and called me an old broad. I said, if I'm 50, who's going to be 50 plus some in a couple weeks?
My grandfather, he passed away at the age of 98. This was 6 years ago, but we all got together and celebrated his 98th birthday. And I'm sitting there next to him, and he goes, "Christopher, how old are you now?" I can't remember. It was 6 years ago, so 44. I'm like, "Yeah, 44, Papa." He goes, "Oh, you're getting up there." I'm like, "Look who's talking."
Peter wanted to know what gaming platform, James.
We're gonna mostly focus on. We're mostly talking about arcade and NES stuff. Those just pardon me.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Examples I came up with.
Yeah.
But if after listening to it, he wants to bring up some other stuff, we can talk about it in a future episode.
Outstanding.
Or even have him on in a future episode. Sky's the limit.
There it is. All right, my brother. Thank you very much as always. I appreciate your input, and I will talk to you very, very soon. All right, my friends. It's one of those other times. This is where I would talk a little bit about our presence. Give me just a second. I'm going to click on the thing here, and boom, there it is. Folks, look, it's my email address. You can write to me and say, "Hey, Chris, could you look into this for me? Or could you look into that for me? Or I have a question about some of the things that Mighty Monkey does or what's coming up in Flower City Comic-Con." I'd be happy to chat. And just below that, right, I'm going to get this right. See, James, it's not that easy, man. So don't worry about it.
Yeah,
if you look right there, there's our link tree. Everything we are online is there. You will find our podcasts, our website, our social media, and our Twitch channel, our YouTube, and I think even some recipes for chocolate chip cookies. I'm not sure, but it might be
Ooh, we
there.
gotta put those on.
So it's good stuff. Look for us there. And now on to what are we talking about today? Oh, we have a friend on board today. Look at this, Mr.
everybody.
Bill.
Hi, everybody. How you
Bill,
doing?
Why are you here today? Why did we invite you on board to
Well,
join us?
because if you can only go to one convention this year, that should be FC3. But if you can go to two, the second one should be Astronomicon. And that's what I'm going to talk about because I am part of the con committee of Astronomicon. Astronomicon has been a fan-run science fiction convention that's been on and off since 1991. And that's the only thing that I think is a little bit of a shame. But then again, there's reasons behind that. Second of all is the origin of Astronomicon actually was back in the day and back when they used to have cable, when everybody had cable TV and there was community access. Wayne used to have a show called Astron. The only problem, I used to have one little complaint because there was no hosted segments. So you would just record stuff and just put it out there.
Okay.
And when I would watch this, I'm going, it's a little hard to follow what's going on sometimes. Okay, there's this event where he's doing a costume contest and he's doing it for the past 6 episodes of this one event. And the costumes are great, but there's no context sometimes. But that's the past. But that was the name of Astronomicon back in 1991 when I was a senior in high school when I used to go to our roster fantasy fan meetings. This is the club that starts it.
Right. And Roster Fantasy Fans is still an active club right now, correct?
Yeah, it's still active. We have our meetings every month. We had our first in-person one since lockdown as of July, third Sunday of July, where we actually went to where we're hosting, which is going to be at the RIT Inn and Conference Center, Halloween weekend, so the 29th through the 31st. It is a 3-day event, and we have a lot of stuff since I'm the guy in charge of programming.
Mm-hmm.
When you start just churning out ideas for panel topics, like 18 months ago in the past, and Wayne goes, "Do you want to be the guy in charge of programming?" I go, "I don't know." And then after a while, he goes, "You sure you don't want to be it?" And I go, "Okay, what's the actual? Then what's the script?" He goes, "Okay, I can do that."
Well, from one panel director to another, it's not as easy as it looks, right?
Well, no. Well, creating the panels is not too bad.
Right.
I'm in the hard part, which is creating scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like right now because what we do at Astronomicon is we have our guests of honor, and we generally have a author guest of honor, a artist guest of honor, a comics guest of honor, and a music guest of honor, and we have a few others. We got a few others that we've added. And I'm going to go over which one is which in a minute.
And I think that's pretty cool because where we are a general pop culture convention, we have a lot of sci-fi, fantasy. We do a little bit of everything. You guys kind of narrow focus down, and you give people a really nice, good specialty view of a slice of the pie, like of a genre.
Yeah, we do. Wayne has been going to conventions longer than I have. I think he's been going to conventions since the 1970s.
Yeah.
So, and he's got a lot of experience doing this, more than I do. And the thing is we are bottled after the traditional fan conventions that would be run at a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your usual things like you have let me get into what I was talking about. My part is I have July 1st. I took the guest of honor, the GOs as they're called, GOH, and the panel participants, which are the other people that are on that got to be putting on panels. And I sent out a survey, a Google form survey. I'm trying to get us updated because trying to get us up to the 21st century.
21st century, Bob. Yeah.
Yes.
Go for it.
And what I did was, and then asking people what it is. So I'm at that point. It's like the end. It's like watching towards the end of a regular season of any sports league.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like seeing who will make the playoffs, which is how many people want to be on the panels. And we have our numbers we want to cut off, the numbers we have, and we have a lot of interesting panels. One of the ones that made it is Silver Age. We have one on just Silver Age comics.
Okay.
I also had one on Golden Age comics, but very few people signed up for that one. I kind of like some of the. I like little bit of the history of the Golden Age as well. But
Mhm.
what can you do? I also have another one called. We did a lot of them. We do. I've got one called Welcome to the Village, which I was very surprised because that's about the prisoner.
Oh, cool. Which I know is one of the favorites of Wayne too.
Wayne. Yeah, Wayne's there, but a lot of other people there like the Village, and I was very good. I've got stuff where there's stuff we're gonna have, like, we have our guest of honor. Our author guest of honor is Alan Steele, and he has a series of books called Captain Future.
Mhm.
He's got the Coyotes. He's also done other stuff like Orbital Decay is one I remember seeing on the stands because I used to hang out at a bookstore when I was in high school.
Okay.
Section, so I remember that section. I got it. I should read that someday. There's the other one is the other artist we have is Sarah Felix, which is our artist guest of honor.
Okay.
She did that nice looks like a watercolor of our cover, and that's going to be the cover for our programming book. We always let we always have the fan or the artist guest of honor do the covers of the program book. Yeah, like you have the artist you do as a comic book, which I think is really neat. Ours, and then we also have them design. I think they're also designing the badges. She also did.
Nice.
And she's also worked on the bases for some of either the Hugo or the Nebula Awards they give out at WorldCon for authors and that are there.
And that's Sarah Felix.
Sarah Felix.
Give me a rundown of the guest of honors that you've got coming this year.
I'm working on. That's what I'm doing right now. So I've got next one is we've got a comics guest of honor. We have is Wendy and Richard Peeney, who created ElfQuest. They're actually at Poughkeepsie,
that's old school.
And that's cool. And I'm just when you guys are during the beginning when you did the part with the comics chick, I really would like to see the comics chicks meet the Peeneys and maybe talk to them for the comics chick section or something like that.
What do you think?
That would be kind of cool.
We'll do that.
Potentially, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I hope you do. That would be really cool. The other one we have is a fan guest of honor, which is Chris Barkley. A fan guest of honor is someone who basically is a permanent or a well-known figure within the fan circles that is not an author, who's not an artist, who's not or anything else but a fan, and has like. I could be a fan guest of honor of another convention, but not Astronomicon because I'm actually on con committee.
Yeah, you're on the
so
staff.
They don't make you. You're on staff, so they don't make you a fan guest of honor.
Right.
But like, it's somebody who has. It's just someone. We have Chris Barkley, who's actually a fan activist. He does a lot of stuff where activism and fandom. And I'm like, me and Wayne have been trying to work and trying to be as inclusive as we can.
Good deal.
With this stuff. And so I think, and he's really a cool guy. He's come up with some of our online meetings. He's a really cool guy to talk to, and he was surprised about some of our local cuisine, and we weren't joking.
That happens a lot. It seriously happens. Oh, somebody's leaning in. Hang on.
No, I was looking at the comics.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm reading the comics or the comments.
I remember like back in our first show in 2016 when we introduced Power Rangers to the garbage plate. That was a beautiful thing. And then we also had Gigi Edgley from Farscape, right? And so here's this tiny little blonde. She was like this big around, and we handed her a garbage plate. And she was just staring at it going,
what do I do?
I know he for a while when we finally told him, he's like, "Oh, you're serious?" I'm going, he's got to try. He says he has to make sure his will's in order and before he eats it. But hey, that's the other part. The other person we have is someone in con circle. He's a really well-known filk artist called Tom Smith out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. He's known as the world's fastest filker because he can just come up with a song. He's got some great tunes. His most well-known, one of my personal favorites, is called Rocket Ride, which is all about a lot of these old retro style, ray gun gothic style stuff where he talks about the old cool sci-fi aesthetics used to be. Kind of that, that kind of cool adventure stuff that you do. And it's really cool. Now we're going to expand out to some of the other people we have on here for this one that's outside the normal four. Those are the normal four we always have.
Let me get in your way on that one because unfortunately time is an issue.
Oh, sorry. I am talking a lot.
That's all good. You're giving us a lot of great information, but I want to ask a couple of quick questions. First of all, people who are not familiar with you guys, where is your website? Let's hear that part.
Okay, well, our website for our convention is in my name. It's www.astronomicon.info.
Okay.
You have to make sure it's .info because the other one, there is recently one in outside of Detroit that borrowed the same name in the past couple of years. So
Yeah.
we're not the one in Detroit, outside Detroit, in like Sterling, Michigan. But there's no beef, so
Yeah, that's all good.
that's good.
All right, now some things that we are being very cautious about is with the way the pandemic is going. We've been watching that in great detail because it could affect FC3 very quickly.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing anything in particular to keep lockdown on Astronomicon, make sure everybody's safe there?
Right now, what we are doing is, and this is before the new variants came out. This is like months ago. We did this back in I think the spring. Is that in order to attend the convention, you have to show proof of vaccination.
Okay, so you guys are putting that foot down.
Yeah, we are putting that foot down.
Cool. I like it.
And we hope that things don't, with the new strains out, that they say, sorry, we can't, the governor comes out and says, sorry, we have to limit the numbers or we can't have live in-person get-togethers. It's just what we're going forward, but we're ready to pull the plug if it happens.
We're in the same spot.
Well, it looks like you're definitely being cautious because your venue is a little smaller than like the convention center or anything else like that.
Yeah.
So that you want to make sure that everyone's safe.
See,
Yes.
Bill agrees with us when we just basically go.
What? Like it's hard?
I used to say when people are getting vaccinated, I said, 2 pokes, no joke.
That's it.
You get your pokes in because it's get your poke.
Our community to be safe,
and you'll help helps you and helps everybody else. So not even every community there is.
Okay, so www.astronomicon.info.
Correct.
Halloween weekend, October 30th, 31st.
October 29th, 30th, and 31st.
29th, 30th, 31st. Okay. RIT in Conference Center. How much are tickets for the weekend?
Tickets right now for pre-reg up till September is $50 for the weekend.
Okay.
It goes up to $75 up afterwards and at the door.
All right.
At the door, you can get day rates, but only in person. But we do have like a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday rate. And hopefully, like I said, I hope that everybody who can make it does. I'd love to see you people. I want to see my friend. We all want to see our friends again, our tribe.
This is the first Astronomicon in how long now? It's been 4 or 5 years since the last one?
Longer than that. Last one was 2013.
2013. Oh, wow. 8 years ago. Okay.
That kind of didn't go over that well. And I'm partly to blame for that because I was going to be in charge of promotion. But that's why I don't do it this year. That's why I didn't do promotions this year.
You guys get the word out. We'll help. All right. We'll let people know you're there.
Like I said, I hope everybody, we're also going to be at FC3 on our table. Okay. Me and Wayne are going to be manning the table. Rover might be there. And hopefully, we have fun in these trying times.
Well, that's the thing. You just shine the light, the folks will show up. So don't worry about it.
I know. I think people are desperate, so we're desperate to get out and do stuff like this. So
I know, that's what we're banking on too.
Yeah, same thing. So
right. Billy, thank you for your time today, brother. It was good to see you, man.
You're welcome.
And we'll have you on again sometime soon.
I hope so. Yeah. You guys, I'll see you next time.
Sounds good. All right.
Bye.
And invite me to the MCU marathon.
You got it.
Whenever we have it.
Bill Horst Cotter, everybody. Astronomicon 13, October's 29, 30, 31 at the RIT Inn and Conference Center. Go to the website. You can track them down at the table at FC3 coming up in September. Get your tickets ahead of time and go join the fun. It's going to be a good time there. I'm sure you're going to see me there. I definitely will be there myself. All right. So with that being said, my dear friends and family, it is time to start wrapping up the show. And you know how we do that? We start saying happy birthday to some folks, right? So we're going to start off by saying happy birthday today, Monday, August 9th, to Anna Kendrick, Sam Elliott and his mustache, Melanie Griffith, and professional wrestler Alexa Bliss. Tomorrow, on the 10th, we will be saying happy birthday to Antonio Banderas, Angie Harmon, Lucas Till, and Ronnie Spector. On Wednesday, the 11th, we say happy birthday, Chris Hemsworth, Steve Wozniak, Viola Davis, and Stephanie Okanedo. And you might remember her. A lot of Doctor Who fans will remember her as Elizabeth the 10th. So that's a good character actress right there. Okay, Thursday, August 12th, Cara Delevingne, Casey Affleck, Pete Sampras, and Maggie Lawson. On Friday, the 13th of August,
Dun, dun,
Sebastian
dun.
Stan. End of list. Oh my. Anyway, moving on. Saturday, August 14th, we say happy birthday to Mila Kunis, Magic Johnson, Halle Berry, Tim Tebow, and Steve Martin. And on Sunday the 15th, happy birthday, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lawrence, Deborah Messing, and actor Anthony Edwards. My friends and family, if it is your birthday, I hope you have a great birthday. I hope you have a safe birthday. You know what? Friends and family, all abound, etc., etc. Let's run through the comment section real quick. Doctor Who at 55 years and beyond, they mentioned the fan guest of honor is a great idea. We agree with that. That's a cool thing. We should consider doing that ourselves sometime. All right, and I saw a couple. There we go. Batman John says, have a great week. Stay safe and healthy. Many hugs. Oh, that's right.
I know.
We
I
say
was
goodbye
so
to
sad
Marky
when
Post.
I saw that yesterday.
Yeah, Night Court alumni.
Oh,
She was
I
70.
loved Night Court.
She was 70 years old. Too young, way too young. Cancer took her from you, in case you were wondering. And Elizabeth Rice passes on to have a good night to everyone. We wish you guys to have a great evening as well. Have a safe week, and we will talk to you again next week.